Yeah, man, that's crazy. 40 days, God, I've been Swayze. Grew the beard out, that ain't shady. That's a bird, man, I ain't baby. Talking hope out, that's so crazy. How I got a shot, raise the bean sprout up, put a crown up on her head so the boys seeing, no, that's a lady. If you ain't catch a double that time on the last rhyme, dog, I could help you. I got plenty more where that came from. When I brainstorm, I need shelter. It's enough water from the most high, even low tide, he gon' wet you. Better learn how to dance in the rain, ain't no use without an umbrella. When I yap for the king, I'ma lap anything on the track. When I rap and I scrap in the ring, back in the Mac. When I cock back in the swing, get a pap and you gotta lay flat when it. That's a mantra. Change the way y'all see the Father. Sing praise to the Most High, so when most die, y'all see His honor. He was dripping with the backlash, and he let him zip him in the black bag. For the intermission was a hashtag, but the demolition wasn't that sad. It was intuition and a premonition, but the imposition wasn't that bad. It was cynicism with the inhibition, but the bigger vision was the last.
Why they party? I'm in here grinding. Money I'm stacking. Why they rock diamonds? I can't relate to them, ain't my chick calming. I set a goal for me 2 or 3 commas. 7 figures, 8 figures to 9 figures. On a slow pace to get rich quick. Same time we just think different. Cause when you make it, it hit different.
What it do, y'all? It's your partner Dale. Man, back in the saddle again for another edition of the Counter Move podcast here every Thursday, guys, at about 8:30 p.m. Man, thank you so much for kicking it with your partner, man. It has been a very busy week for you, brother. Trying to catch my breath, man. My daughter graduated from high school, y'all, man. I mean, it has been I gotta get it right. It has been a very, very, there we go. It has been a very busy day for your partner, man. But hey, we in this thing, man. Be praying for your partner, man. Congratulations to my daughter. She is now a high school graduate, and it has been a long 2 weeks. A long 2 weeks. But hey, to God be the glory. We got her through it, guys, and she will be going to college here in a couple of weeks, man. So be praying for your partner, man. I did cry. I sure did. When we had to pray over, I had to cry, but it's all good, man. Had a great, great, great time. If you good, guys, do me a favor, guys, if you don't mind, like, share, and subscribe, guys. If you're on a platform that allows for you to click on the bell when I come live, man. And so whenever I go live, whether it be on Friday or Thursday, come kick with your partner, man, which is pretty good. And I see you guys on TikTok, man. Good to see you guys. Man, this is going to be a very, very good show. There's a reason why I started off the show talking about my daughter graduating high school and going into college. Because today we're talking about all things college. All right. Here are our topics for today, guys. This is going to be very good. All right. Number one, guys. Man, there's 3 things: college degree, MBA degrees, as well as an election in Texas. The question we're going to ask today is a college degree still worth it? We're going to walk through answering that question. This is coming from a father that is about to send his daughter to college. So this is a honest question, right? And I'm having to cut a check for this. Number 2, why MBA degrees are on life support. M as in Mary, BA degrees. Master Business Administration, so that's what it stands for. Are they on life support? Mine. And number 3, Kim Paxton and John Cornyn had a runoff election in Texas. I'm in Texas. I do know Kim Paxton. He's the current Texas Attorney General, and he does live near me as far as in the vicinity. He actually won. He unseated the incumbent. We're going to talk about how he actually won this thing. All right, guys? So if you could, guys, share. Again, like and subscribe, guys, if you don't mind. And let's jump into this first topic. All right, guys, here we go. Man, is a college degree still worth it? Let me say it again for the folk in the back row. Is a college degree still worth it? Again, I got to say it again. My daughter's finna go to a Big 12 school. She wanted to go to a school that had football, and the school has football. And to kind of give you a little bit of a backstop about what's going on here is during our college tour, we toured, I think, 2 schools. She really wanted to tour 2 schools. So we didn't go on the big old college. We actually looked at 2 schools. The first one, and I'm not going to name the schools. Not going to do that at all. But the first one is in Texas, I would say. And when we toured it, they gave a great presentation. Those that know me know which college that I'm talking about. A great presentation. Phenomenal presentation that they gave when we went on the college tour, right? So which is pretty cool. Then we got down to the cost of going to college. Guys, when I saw the bill, I gasped for air. $84,000 a year. Let me say it again for the folk in the back row. $84,000 a year. I thought it was a typo. They quickly told me, no, sir, it's not a typo. That is the cost to go to this institution. I then asked, are there any guarantees? No guarantees. So I said no to them. So basically, guys, in order for my daughter, for this school to get a 4-year degree, I'm going to round up, okay? We would have to pay $400,000 for a 4-year degree. $400,000 for a 4-year degree. That is insane. Now, the school that she wound up going to was half the price. $45,000, and this is all in. Room, board, all in. And I said, okay, $45,000 we can kind of do. $84,000, ridiculous. And I was like, wait a minute. When I went to college, guys, you know how much it cost for me when I went to college? For the entire year, $5,000 total. $2,500 per semester. $5,000. This is ridiculous. So $5,000 up to $84,000. So I said, you know what? Let me ask this question. Is a college degree still worth it? Okay? The rising debate over debt, jobs, and economic value. We're going to dive into this thing, guys. You're going to be very shocked at the cost since 1980 that college has arisen. For those that have kids that are in grade school, right? Middle school, high school, right? You should be looking at this, watching this right now, because it's going to be higher by the time your kids get to this college type of scenario. I want you guys to see this. This is ridiculous. All right. I had to bring in my partner, PBD, Patrick David, my man's in them. So we can kind of dive into this real quickly, guys. And we're going to dive into the rising cost of college. Let me say it again for the folk in the back row. The rising cost for college. It is insane. Okay? So let me kind of remove this overlay because I want everybody to see this. Everybody in the back row, I want you to see all of this. We're going to make it bigger. No, hold on one second. We're going to make it just like this here, guys. I want y'all to see what's going on, all right? Let's dive into the cost of this. Here we go. Dive into it. Here we go.
I want to share with you some disturbing data about a college education, a college degree today, just to see how you react to it. Did you know the average price of a house in 1980 was $64,000 and it's $336,000? That is an uptick of 425%. Did you know the average price of a car in 1980 was $7,000? Today it's $47,000. That's an increase of 571%.
Jesus.
But did you know the average cost of college from 1980 till today has increased, ready? 1,200%. By the way, inflation from 1980 till today is 236%. Cost of college tuition, 1,200%.
Stop. Come close to your partner. 1,200%. Let that sink in. 1,200% since 1980. That's higher than inflation, cars, and freaking houses. How in God's name I know the answer to this question, but how in God's name has college rose 1,200 freaking percent? Ain't nobody saying a goddamn thing. Like, this is ridiculous. You have to make 6 figures just to send your kid to college? This is insane. It gets worse. It gets worse, guys. God damn, 1,200%? Holy Spirit, take the wheel. Like, this is ridiculous. It gets worse. Here we go.
Let me get this straight. Income's only $217, $220. Tuition for college is 1,200%, 1,000.
Look at that. Look at that. Look, income 217% to 220%. College tuition 1,200%. Fiscally, it's impossible for a regular person who's not making 6 figures to send their kid to college outside of student loans. Let me say it again for the folk in the back row. Come closer to your partner. It is impossible for somebody that's not making 6 figures to send their kid to college, right, based on these damn numbers. Look at this. Let that sink in. How is this possible? We're going to find out in a second. Don't you worry. I got the answers. And I want you guys to learn this because there's an election coming up. Okay? An election coming up. My kids' tuition is taken care of. It's all good. Thank the Lord. Hallelujah. Praise God. But for those that are on the come up, this 1,200% as of today. As of today, 2026. It's going to go higher. Why? Don't you worry about it. We're going to answer the question in a second. No damn sense. Here we go.
1,000% more. How can the average American afford to send their kids to college or the student to pay for it? We're going to talk about that today.
So again, guys, this right here, guys, is just crazy to me. Okay, so again, say this, guys. Here we go. Let's read the dive. Here we go.
Okay, so before you get upset at the college you went to or you're going to right now, let's ask a few questions to see if it's really worth it, and then let's make a decision. But if you get value out of this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and share it with others. 5 things we're going to talk about in this video. Number 1, the cost increase. Number 2, is the actual investment, meaning the 4 to 5 years and the money you spent into it, is the rate of return worth it? Role college plays. Does it carry the same weight before? And how will it be disrupted? What's going to happen to the future of college if they keep going the way they're going today? So let's get right into it. Okay, so today's sponsor to the video is Udemy. And if you...
so he goes to a sponsor real fast, y'all. But let's go past this real fast. And we're going to get to it. Hold on. Give me 1 second.
And they would say, I don't know. I said, tell me why.
Hold on 1 second. Let's go back. This is really good. Here we go. Let's get to it. Here we go.
Versus yourself. And being part of IETM, you get a discount. So either
get to it.
Courses you'd like to take. So let me explain to you my concern from a perspective of being in the insurance industry, in the financial industry, 20 plus years. And my agents would come up to me and say, this client here, Patrick, wants a $2 million insurance policy. Will this insurance company underwrite it? The first thing I always said is, would you underwrite this client with your own $2 million and risk that? And they would say, I don't know. I said, tell me why. Well, the person's 62 years old. They smoke 2 packs a day. Mom died at 68. Dad died at 65. He's out of shape. He's 320 pounds, but he's got the money to buy it. I said, would you give them $2 million and allow them to buy it from me? He says, I probably wouldn't do it. I said, so why would the insurance company do it? Well, let's just see if they're going to do it or not. So you can submit it, but I don't think they're going to underwrite it, right? Pat, what are you saying? What's your point? Here's my point. So if college is so great and it's so worth paying the $30, $40, $50,000 per year, why don't private banks finance it? Why?
Stop right there. That is a great question. Why in the hell do private Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Citigroup, Huntington Bank, pick a damn bank? Why don't any of these damn banks write these loans, giving these loans to 17-year-old kids? We're talking about in hundreds of thousands of dollars. Why? We know why, but let's walk through the numbers. Walk through the numbers. Here we go.
Why is most of the financing being done by the government? And why isn't the government preventing these colleges from increasing the price? So every year college increases the tuition. The government's like, yeah, we'll finance it. Yeah, we'll finance it. Yeah, we'll finance it.
So there is no cap at all, not one cap from a affordability standpoint. You mean that word affordability, right? That side, both sides are talking about right now. Trash. Talking about right now is affordability. Here is my thing here. If you're so interested in affordability, why have you never looked at colleges? What's the regulations there? Where's it at? You talk about all these corporations, right? These taxing the rich and all this garbage. Why are colleges off limits? Have you guys actually asked that question before? Why are colleges off limits? There's no talk at all about capping how much they can charge. Don't you want things affordable, politicians? I'm talking from city, county, state, and federal. All y'all Bamas. Don't you want things affordable? So why are the universities off limits? Let's find out.
And then when a kid who's 23 now and wants to file a BK, or 28 now, they'll be able to BK their credit card debt, their car loan, all this other stuff, but you're not able to BK your college loan? How?
So stop right there. BK means bankruptcy, okay? So get this, guys. Look at the sham. Look at the sham, guys. Look at the sham. You can bankruptcy, right? File for bankruptcy, house, car, medical debt, right? Credit card debt, but you can't bankruptcy college loans? Interesting. Why? Why does it seem that colleges are off limits when it comes to affordability and the relinquishing of debt? Why? Let's find out.
Why not? Well, who created that law? Well, the government did. How? Because colleges and government are officially in bed together. For every dollar that they loan out, tuition goes up 60 cents. For every dollar. So university.
Stop right there. Oh my God, this is crazy. So for every dollar that the government loans out to a 17-year-old teenager, with some of the parents co-signing for these loans, right? The tuition goes up 60 cents. What? The reason why is because of the fact that both the government and the universities and or colleges are in bed together. Now, how is that? Have you guys ever looked at the board of trustees for a university? Normally, there's like some is like 17 seats, maybe even 19. It's normally an odd number, right? So, how many of those, let's say 19 seats, does the faculty and students get to choose that board member? Take a wild guess. How many of those seats? I'll answer it for you. 2. Just 2. 2. So 19 minus 2 leaves 17 open seats. Who gets to appoint those 17 seats? It's not the faculty and the students. Who does that? The sitting governor gets to appoint all 17 seats. Interesting. And I bet you those 17 seats, guys, came from donors. Do you see how the colleges and the government are in cahoots? Because these are state governors. These are state universities. State universities. So you have the state governing over these universities, but the money is coming from the federal government. It's like they're all in the bed together. Interesting. Let's keep going. It gets gooder.
Cities are like, oh my gosh, loan more because I can increase my tuition. Loan more because I can increase my tuition. And these politicians are confused the hell out of people in America talking about how private corporations are not paying enough taxes and all this other stuff. Blah, blah, blah. Really? Wait till you see how much these colleges have in their endowments, in their checking accounts. And on top of that, the fact that they pay 0 in taxes and they have 0 regulation on how much they can increase their prices. So maybe you ought to ask your politician in your community, if you're so worried about protecting these medicines that takes 5 cents to make and they're selling you for $100, how come you're not going out to college, calling out colleges and universities for charging as much as they do for 18-year-old kids to go into debt that they cannot afford, that they have to pay 20 years to pay off? Why don't we go hold some of these colleges accountable for paying this much in taxes? March, man.
Stop right there, guys. So let's get this straight again. Every university and or college is a 501c3. That's a nonprofit. Damn near all of the revenue that's coming into a college or university, they pay 0 in taxes. Not a damn thing. All tax free. So let's get this straight. The state governments get to appoint the lion's share of the Board of Trustees. Those Board of Trustees are most likely donors to the state, local, and county, and federal politicians, right? For every dollar that the government lends out, the tuition goes up 60 cents. Crazy town. And all the revenue coming in from the university to them, their coffers, they pay 0 in taxes. That's a pretty good deal, isn't it? And none of the customers for the university can file for bankruptcy for debt relief. Damn, that's a good ass deal. If I say so myself. We ain't through. It gets better for the colleges. Let's get into it.
You got football games, this much in taxes. Yet let's distract them and focus on these corporations that are creating jobs. And oh my gosh, they're not paying any taxes, which they're paying billions on top of billions in taxes. I think it's a fair question to ask.
I gotta say, this tax the rich and the wealthy and the pharmaceuticals and all these corporations is the biggest scam ever. It's the biggest propaganda tour ever. Because the biggest scammer when it comes to just straight income is the colleges. Riddle me this. Are there Are there more major corporations in the U.S. or more colleges and universities? I'll wait. I'll say there's more universities and colleges. And again, I said major companies, not small businesses, major companies. There's more major universities than major companies. But what the politicians are saying, they're saying it's the lesser, the major corporations, which have a lesser number, right? They're the ones they wish they're not paying their fair share of taxes. Well, they're paying corporate taxes, payroll taxes, property taxes, local taxes, state taxes. They're paying all these taxes. And the universities, who actually have more in number, right? They pay zero in taxes. Please tell me which one is the scam. Like, this is the biggest finesse that I've heard in a long time. Huge. We not done. It gets better for the universities. Let's get into it.
So now somebody may say, well, Pat, that's not fair. The way you're talking about is the fact that colleges, all they do is they sit on cash. Maybe they do. Let's look at their dollar amount. Here are 10 universities that have a minimum of $10 billion or higher in their endowment account, which is kind of like cash. And I'm going to compare how much cash they got versus some corporations. And I want to kind of get your reaction to see if you're okay with that. Let's go through it. Top 13, Cornell University, over $10 billion. Vanderbilt, over $10 billion. Emory University, $11 billion. Washington University in St. Louis, over $14 billion. Columbia, over $14 billion. Northwestern University, over $14 billion. University of Notre Dame, over $18 billion. University of Penn, over $20 billion. MIT, $27. Princeton, $37. Stanford, $37 billion. Yale, $42 billion. Harvard, ready? $53 billion. Now let's compare them to some corporations. And again, I really want to see your reaction. Comment below. If this gets you thinking and saying, how the hell is this even possible? Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Ready? Watch this. You ever heard of a company called McDonald's? You know how much they got in cash? These greedy people. $2.3 billion. You ever heard of Starbucks? Massive. 420,000 employees. You know how much they got in cash? $3.8 billion. Oh, you ever heard of this company called Disney? You know Walt Disney? You know how much they got in cash? $16 billion. You ever heard of Tesla? This company Tesla, ran by this greedy guy. You know how much they got in cash? $18 billion.
Oh my God.
Ford, $36 billion. Coca-Cola, $36 billion. Wow. Pfizer, $51 billion. Even Meta, Facebook, has $54 billion. Jesus. Only $1 billion more than Harvard. Are you okay with that? And we're so hardcore on these guys not paying any taxes. Yet colleges and universities, they literally pay zero taxes, okay? And they have the same amount of cash, if not more, by all these other corporations that are day-to-day competing. They have to compete every day, hiring, firing, enemies, competition, regulation. And universities regulation, hey, keep funding it, guys, because the federal government's financing all the loans. Don't worry.
Stop right there. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Are you seeing what I'm seeing? This is the biggest con job fiscally that I've seen. If I hear another politician tell me tax the rich, these greedy corporations, the next thing I'm going to say is, why have you not said anything about the universities? We just saw what's in their bank accounts called endowments, which they pay zero in taxes on. Again, I dare you as a voter this election cycle to pressure every one politician ask you for their vote as an investment in them. You ask them, okay, what are you going to do about this astronomical cost of going to college? If they begin stuttering, don't vote for them. This is a bipartisan type of approach. This works well for Democrats and Republicans, independents and libertarians. Get on one accord and apply pressure to these Bamas called politicians. You ask them, you're asking me for my damn vote. What are you going to do as far as legislation, right? To lower the cost of college and universities, and ask for specifics. Ask for it. This is amazing. Am I tripping? Do y'all see the same thing that I see? This is something else. And guys, it gets gooder and gooder. It gets gooder and gooder, guys. So all the money that they're making on the college football playoffs, all the bowl games, right? The national title game in football, right? The NCAA tournament, all the volleyball tournament, all activities on the university, tax-free. We're talking about hundreds of millions and billions of dollars flowing into their coffers tax-free. And they have they have no ceiling on how much they can charge you for the tuition. This is crazy town. Crazy town. And this is coming from a father who's sending his oldest daughter to college this fall. This is an honest question from me. Okay? I'm in this with you. This ain't theory for me. Like, this is amazing, guys. This is amazing. God, I ain't never seen. But now, guys, great presentation by PBD. Good stuff, guys. Now, let's go a little deeper. Can we go a little deeper, guys? Now what's going to happen is not, I want you guys to see the return on the investment, right? The return on the investment. We're still here. We're still right here. It's kind of still worth it. Let's look at a brief presentation real fast. Let's go back to PBD, right? A different video talking about 52% of graduates don't use these degrees that we're paying six figures for a year. This is crazy. You don't believe me? Don't worry about it. I got you, baby. Let's get into a PBD. Let's talk to him nice. Let's get into. Here we go.
So let me preface something before we get into the episode. There's going to be a lot of you upset with me in this episode because some of you are going to go talk to your parents, to your friends, to your counseling, to your teacher. Why did you make me go get this degree? And some parents are going to watch this video. You're going to send this to your kids and say, why did you major in this and waste mommy and daddy's money? Because the underemployed people that are watching this, you're not going to be very happy. You want some numbers here? Check this out. According to researchers at labor analytics firm Burning Glass Institute and nonprofit Strata Education Foundation, they tracked the career paths of 10 million individuals, analyzing the resumes of workers who graduated between 2012 and 2021. Within 1 year, 52% of them after graduating are underemployed. Within 5 years, 45%. Within 10 years, 45%. And if you're wondering, what is the definition of underemployment? According to Federal Reserve Bank of New York, it means working in a job that typically does not require a bachelor's degree. So you spend $200,000, $100,000 of your parents' money, maybe your own money. Maybe you got Sally Mae's right now that you're dealing with making those payments, and you have a job right now that has nothing to do with your degree. And guess what? We're going to give you some data today. You know what that data is? We're going to give you what data has the lowest unemployment rate in America today and a bunch of other things. It definitely makes you question today's educational system because we were promised you go get this job, guaranteed pay, benefits, Let me go get a college degree. But that promise is no longer as accurate as it once used to be today.
So stop right there, guys. So he goes into more detail about this. And what I'll do is I'll put in the show notes the link to these videos so you can go watch them on your own and take notes and vet the information. But guys, 52% of graduates don't use their degrees. Okay, my degree, is an e-commerce that is a blend of marketing and networking, coding, stuff like that. Management information systems, computer science is in it as well. Also, I can read some code, right? And I can market online, e-commerce, right? It's a BA degree. Guys, my profession is real estate development and private equity and private equity finance. I barely use my degree. Matter of fact, I was in class one time and I was talking to, I believe, my calculus teacher. And I asked her in class, I said, ma'am, when will we begin to talk about money? Guys, you know what she told me? She said, you'll learn it once you get a job. My response is, so why the hell am I paying you this money for? She didn't like that answer, that question that I asked her. She didn't like it. I didn't care because I'm paying your salary. That was an honest question. Why the hell am I paying you a salary? If I'm going to learn about money, why am I here for? If I'm going to learn about money in the workforce, why am I here? I'm here to learn a skill for me to begin to monetize that skill because I add value to the marketplace and the marketplace pays me X salary for the skill that I learned here. And that skill brings in revenue for me called a salary. And I asked you the question concerning when we talk about money and your response to me is you learn it when you get into workforce. Why the hell am I here? I bet not hear a teacher tell my kid that. She comes to the crib that day. That simple. So as parents, we have to have a come to Jesus talk about what's really going on here. Because of the fact that if 52% of graduates are not using these degrees that we paid this money for, guys, why the hell are we paying all this money for them to go to school? That is an honest question. 1,000%. Am I tripping, guys? Let a player know. Am I tripping? Now, I gotta put on music. I gotta put some here we go, guys. I gotta put some music on real fast, guys. Here we go. All right, guys. Now, let's go a little deeper, guys, real quickly, okay? Let's go back. So now we've kind of exhausted that topic. Let's go to our next topic, guys, real quickly, all right? Real quickly. Get rid of this real quickly, guys. Get rid of that. Okay, now, here's our next topic real quickly. Next, we talked about the how college is crazy right now. Now we're going to talk about MBA degrees. Are they on life support? That's Masters of Business Administration, MBAs. Why elite businesses? Why elite business credentials may be losing influence? In other words, the value or the ROI that MBAs used to yield is going down. Why? Why? We got to answer that question, guys. All right. Now let's bring in valuetainment, guys, and look who I'm bringing here, guys. This is not professors. Okay, these are not professors. These are individuals that they are in the marketplace right now, actively hiring, building businesses, making millions, right? Influential. This ain't theory at all. This is real world data. Now you can either do one or two things. You can either bury your head in the sand, or what you can do is listen and write some stuff down. It's up to you. Either way, there's a cost of time or cost of money? Which one do you want to pay? Make sense? Let's get into it.
A story comes out by Wall Street Journal, Rob. I don't know if you have it in here or not. I don't think you do. No, I didn't ask you to put it in there. So, story comes out by Wall Street Journal saying MBAs are on a fire sale. Okay, wow. MBAs, Masters in Business Administration, are on a fire sale. Okay, fire sale. Now, when you read this article, Rob, I don't know if you have all the way down to go through the article. If it's not going to allow you, it does allow you. Okay, few things you need to know about the story. More business schools are giving steep discounts on tuition that can save students up to $50,000 or tens of thousands of dollars. So people are like, why are MBA programs getting cheaper and cheaper? Keep going lower and see what's happening here. Okay, keep going lower to the stats. Purdue University, right there, Rob. Please go a little bit up, one paragraph up. Purdue Mitchell Daniels School of Business is knocking 40% off its tuition for next fall, okay? Which makes the 48 credit hour program $36,000 for out-of-state students, down from $60,000, okay? Then UC Irvine, tuition is down 38% from $48,000 to $30,000. If you go a little bit lower, there's more stories. Johns Hopkins Carey Business School is given a 50% scholarship on graduates from a Maryland college this spring and enter on one of specialized master's program. So they're also going down 50%. Now, why is this? Why are they doing this? Here's a couple things they've noticed. They've noticed that Google, Amazon, Apple are no longer hiring MBA program students like they did before. On top of that, McKinsey, that would hire 71, I think it was from Chicago Booth of School, now they're down to 33. Stay on that article, Rob, if you could. Go back to the article you're on. This continues to go. If you go a little bit lower, couple of the stats that I really liked in this article, Rob, if you go lower, is this one here. The number of graduate students in management who receive financial assistance has been soaring. Watch this. Last year was 47%. 47% of incoming students are receiving merit-based scholarships, up from 32% a decade ago, according to Graduate Management Admissions Council, which, by the way, Tom said something very interesting 2 weeks ago. Did you see the article that came out that said more students are getting A's today than ever before? I don't know if you saw that article. Wow. Everyone's getting A's. Oh, my God, we're getting smarter. No, we're not. It's these language learning models. But guess what number dropped? Grades went up. But guess what test scores drop? Go ahead, Tom.
National test scores and SATs.
So let me get this straight. So we're getting better GPAs, but our SAT scores are dropping.
Wow.
So what does that tell you?
You can't use ChatGPT and SAT.
You cannot use ChatGPT while you're taking the test.
So AI, I actively invest in AI, is a phenomenal tool to use, which is ChatGPT. But you're beginning to see how a lot of students have been using ChatGPT to be able to kind of cut corners, and that is allowing for our kids' minds not to work. Guys, I still read books. I use AI in my real estate business, my private equity business, our personal finances, our business finances. I use AI in almost everything. Matter of fact, there's a guy you need to follow. His name is Dan Martell. Dan Martell. He wrote a book called Buy Back Your Time. He is one of the best I've ever seen on the planet that teaches you how to implement AI into your business and life. But also, he does what I do, read books. I've learned so much using AI. Right, it's just an assistant to me. But what I'm hearing from what they're saying here, and you're gonna get more details in a second, is kids are making straight A's in school because they're using ChatGPT. But when that knowledge is tested without ChatGPT via SAT and ACT, they're bombing them. It's real simple. And then people are wondering why companies are looking to downsize and use AI to solve their problems, because the workers ain't thinking. Look at the product that is being produced. These are MBA degrees, Masters of Business Administration degrees, not BAs, MBAs. Like, this is crazy town. Let's get to it. Here we go.
Not yet.
You want to go a little bit lower.
But you feel really good in your little home classroom.
Yeah. But if you go a little bit lower, Rob, keep going lower, keep going lower, keep going. Is that it? Oh, my God. There were so many great stats about this MBA program, what's going on. Tom, your thoughts when you see this, MBAs. I have 4 kids. You got a couple of them. We just had dinner with my niece who got her MBA program. She gave a not MBA program. She got valedictorian. She gave a phenomenal speech at the school's valedictorian, which shout out to Dylan for screaming the way he was screaming. Everybody was screaming to make sure they knew who was the most special person in that room to us. But MBAs, a parent is asking, Tom, is it worth for me to spend $250,000 to send my kid to get an MBA program for 2 years?
So hold on.
Not normally.
So hold on. Let's walk through the costs. So you're looking at roughly $84,000 a year. Let's say $100,000 a year. That's $400,000 to go into an elite university. And if you want to get your MBA, your master's, it's just $250,000. So let's do the math. So $400,000 plus $250,000 is what? $650,000 before you've made a dime in the marketplace. And you come out making less because the MBA is yielding a lower return on investment. Does that make sense? Hell no, it don't. Now, I'm not saying that you should not go to college. No, I think doctors should go to college, right? Psychologists should go to college, right? It depends on the profession. It does, okay? It does. But do you need to go to college to make 6 figures? No. You know who's making 6 figures right now, guys? Or people that actually have jobs that cannot be replaced. Like what? Plumbers are making 6 figures a year. Electricians are making 6 figures a year. Those that are in construction are making 6 figures a year. Why? AI cannot replace them. Hello, McFly. Did you hear what I just said? But again, let's go a little deeper. Tom, break it down for us, Tom. Here you go. Break it down for us.
$250,000. Look, the MBA programs have come up in price and they've gone parabolic. They've gone crazy. And over the last 15 years, if you look at the cost of tuition. And what happened was the student loans were available. So I could go get student loans to get my MBA, number one. And with getting that student loan, now, guess what? It's like the government's almost underwriting the high cost from the school. So if the government makes it easier, Vinny, for me to get a student loan and you're the college, what's your incentive to be competitive on price? It's not. Just go get a student loan. Yeah, just go get a student loan. And then they find out what happens is terrible. So prices have been uncontrolled, number one. But the elite MBA schools used to get these big signing bonuses on Wall Street, but now we're hearing that some of those are getting pulled back. Now, some of these kids are coming in for financial aid, and now guess what's happening? The schools are having to look at it. Wow, a lot of these kids are applying for financial aid. How are we going to do this? So they would rather sell something for $60,000 a year than sell nothing with the price on the window that said $85,000 a year. So that's one of the things that's happening. And also to people that are out there, look, it's why are you getting the MBA and what are you putting inside it? There are programs, and I'm not going to pimp for any of them now by mentioning the schools, but there are schools right now. No, what I mean is, if I mention the school, then people are going to say I'm trying to say something. It's not. Some of the MBA programs, MBA programs out there, what they're doing is they're saying, hey, you'll have the MBA courses will be this, but some of the business operation courses will be replaced by option courses, and option courses in AI, management of the AI systems.
Correct.
See, that's what's going on. And so I think some of that is happening is good, but right now we are seeing that the gold rush for MBAs is slowing down, and the economic impact is coming back down on the schools.
By the way, no joke.
Discount.
I really thought you were about to go into Drew Down, the song. I don't know if you remember or not.
So again, guys, I want you guys to hear that. MBAs are losing their value right now. So if someone's saying, just go to school and get your MBA, you better look at what type of MBA and if it makes any sense at all. Because if it doesn't make any sense at all, you're wasting your time. You are. I'm just saying, guys. I'm just saying. Now, here's my question: is why are a lot of these schools? Why are some of these schools? Well, not some schools. My question is, why have MBAs went down in value? Why? Why have they? Let me bring back up the overlay real fast. This prompt real quickly. And you're gonna hear my reasoning in a second. I believe the reason why these MBAs are losing their influence is because the quality of talent coming out that have these degrees are so low that even when they bring in someone as an MBA, which they expected a certain type of salary from said company, the yield the company is getting is not a good ROI for them. So the company is having to invest even additional more capital into a elite thinking MBA person, I put that in quotations, to train them on the company's culture, what the company's looking for, because the skills they learned in school is not translating to dollars for a company. It's not. But so what are these companies doing to kind of offset that? What are they doing? And I'm not surprised by this at all. I expected this as well. Because one of these companies that we'll talk about in a second, I worked for them in high school. And they have something that has allowed for them to explode. Okay, here we go. Let's get to it. Oh, hold on one second. Oh, where'd it go? Here we go. Come on here. There we go. There we are. Let's go.
Going to happen with education, Vinny. You ready? Tom, I think what will happen with education is companies will become universities.
Yep.
Okay? The other day, let me tell you what happened.
Stop right there. He's saying companies will become universities. I'm saying it again. He's saying companies will become their own universities. Uh-oh. So in other words, they're saying we don't need to bring someone or hire someone from an Ivy League school, because we can just bring someone in off the street who's coachable and teachable, right? And training within our own internal universities. Really, LaDale? You said second. Here we go. Let's get to it.
Our BDC team sat down with our finance team, and our finance team went through what exactly looks like to look at a balance sheet. Mm-hmm. New recruits that are coming to the consulting firms, like going through the balance sheet. Here's what it's looked like. And then our VP of Finance, Casey, sat down and went through the whole thing with our finance department. You're going to see companies start off an MBA program. So I'm going to come to a company, and guess who becomes your professor? Tom Ellsworth's your professor once a week or once a day for 1 hour.
Big pimpin'.
No, but of course, with good music. But Tom is your professor, right? Tom, what did you do today at 7 o'clock in the morning on a Memorial Day, not Labor Day? What did you do this morning?
An elite group of 8 of our sales reps.
Can you just give their first names, please?
Yeah, it was Brandon, Taylor, Antonio, Anthony, Daniel, Luis. They're saying, hey, we're going to be here today because we're working on things. And maybe Memorial Day, we're going to respect it.
Tom, on Memorial Day morning, they ask if you're still going to have their 7 a.m. meeting with them. Now, here's a question.
Exactly right.
What did you cover with them this morning? What was the discussion?
Oh, we covered core. We covered the five line P&L a little bit more, and we also covered the psychology of what owners are going through in this economy and what they're probably thinking and what they want to know, where they want to go. And then we took from around the room, what are you hearing, and then their own personal confidence in presenting it.
You know what's going to happen, Vinny? So say you're working for Vitamin and we offer an MBA program internally, okay? We can call it whatever we want. And if you go there and you finish it within the company, one, higher raises, higher promotions, you're indoctrinated in the culture of the company, you're learning what we're doing, we're able to teach you with the values and principles that we have. I think these schools are starting to realize there's a massive disruption coming around the corner. Would you rather learn from a professor that's not an operator, or would you rather learn from a Tom?
Tom, 1,000%.
1,000%.
Who also was a professor.
That's right. So,
he's a doctor of business.
So stop right there. Let me ask you this question. Would you rather learn from a professor who has no experience in being a company operator, or would you much rather learn from Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Patrick Bet-David, Ryan Pineda, Ed Mylett, Warren Buffett? Let that sink in. Jerry Jones, Robert Kraft, Mark Cuban, Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank, Barbara Corcoran, LaDale Buggs, Logan Stout, Presley Swaggerty. Should I keep going? Brian Adamson. At my best, Wimby. Grant Cardone. Who would you much rather learn from? That's where this is going. It's real simple, guys. It's where this is going. It's where it's going. Companies will have their own universities because the talent coming out of these Ivy League schools, these regular schools, is not yielding a great return. And I don't know about you, I much rather learn from an operator in the space already making billions than someone giving me the theory based on a book with no real world experience. Let that sink in. I know. That's all I'm saying, guys. That's what's going on. So, guys, this was golden for me, and this hit home for me because of the fact that I have a daughter going to college, literally in the fall. So this is not a bash on colleges. No, not at all. What I'm saying is we have to realistically look at this honestly and begin asking questions. Because I have a second daughter who's 13 that's coming after my daughter here. And we better be smarter. And as a voter, you should be a lot smarter than what you are, and begin asking the real questions to these politicians. You're screaming about affordability. What the hell are you going to do to curb this inflation when it comes to price point for these damn universities and colleges? If they begin stuttering, do not give them your vote. This should be a war cry for both Democrats and Republicans, libertarians and independents, politicians on all four levels of government. That's municipal, county, state, and federal. What the hell are you going to do to curb this inflationary effect when it comes to colleges and their pricing? And not answering is an answer. Now, voters, my fellow voters, you have the information, the links to the videos for you to learn for yourself and vet the information. And then you choose how to apply pressure or not. And not choosing is choosing. Just saying, guys. Just saying, guys. All right, guys. The last thing that we're going to do, guys, is the last topic we're going to cover is going to be, there was a Texas election. All right, Texas election. I'm in Texas. All right. It was a well-known one between Kim Paxton and John Cornyn. John Cornyn is a sitting U.S. senator, and he's been elected 6 times. Is it 6 times? No, I'm sorry. 4 times. My bad. 4 times. My bad. 4 times. 4 consecutive times. So 24 years he's been in the Senate. Kim Paxton has been a state senator in Texas, and he's the sitting Texas Attorney General. It was a runoff. And what happened was this here. So with this runoff, Kim Paxton won. I mean, he whooped John Cornyn's behind. It wasn't even fair. I mean, it was that bad. So we're going to talk about how did Kim Paxton pull this off? Because it is hard to beat an incumbent, no matter if you're Republican or Democrat. And this is the 3rd Republican incumbent to fall. Now, there's been some also on the Democrat side. Don't get it twisted. Right? And a couple have been in Texas. Jasmine Crockett lost. But it wasn't for a seat, though. She was running for a state Senate seat. So I mean, U.S. Senate. So I can't say that. Not Jasmine Crockett. So that's wrong. Al Green lost his. He's a Democrat in Texas. He lost his to another Democrat, younger version. So these incumbents are dropping, and that's not normal. But there was some there was optimistic. They thought that John Cornyn was going to win. I knew Cornyn was going to lose because John Cornyn is not liked in Texas at all. When you go to the Texas Republican convention in Texas and you get booed as a sitting senator, they don't like you. That was John Cornyn. John Cornyn had the privilege, and he earned it, to run against nobody during the primary. The last 4 times he was elected, virtually nobody. And when he would run in the general election, he would easily beat somebody. John Cornyn had an easy route. Ted Cruz had a bigger fight than John Cornyn. And I was kind of off because I'm like, wait a minute, probably the person that's more easier to lose as a Republican in Texas would be John Cornyn, but his opponents were never that strong on the Democrat side. Ken destroyed him. It was bad. I was surprised. I knew this was going to happen. Because after Kim Paxton, after he beat the impeachment conviction when he was a Texas Attorney General, he became the most powerful politician in Texas, more powerful than the sitting governor of Texas, Governor Abbott. And I say right now, he's still the most powerful politician in Texas. Kim Paxton is. Right, so let's dive into it, guys. Let's see what's going on real fast. Let's go to NBC real quickly, guys, and let's dive into this. And we're gonna bring in some commentary, right, to go a little bit deeper on how this happened. This did not shock me. It shocked a lot of the people, though. Let's get into it. Here we go.
And we are back with breaking news tonight. A major race now called in Texas. Trump-backed candidate Kim Paxton has won the state's Senate race, beating out four-term incumbent John Cornyn. And in the House, just moments ago, we projected Christian Menifee as the winner in the Texas 18th Congressional District primary. Let's
see right there. So now you see there's two incumbents falling. Two incumbents. One on the Democrat side in the House and one on the Senate side in the Senate. Both incumbents fail. Let's keep going. Here we go.
get straight over to Steve Kornacki. Steve, what are we seeing here?
Yeah, Gotti. I mean, look, the numbers kind of speak for themselves in this case here. Polls just closed, as you said here. We were really just waiting on the Mountain Time Zone, a couple counties to come in. But it was evident literally from the first 5 seconds here of this election night, because we just started getting results really quickly that showed a total shift, a total reversal from the preliminary back in March when these two candidates, Kim Paxton and John Cornyn, ran against each other. Back in March, as a matter of fact, Cornyn finished in first place over Paxton. He beat him by about 2 points. Neither one of them got a majority. That's why we had this runoff. But it was very close between these candidates back in March. But this map started lighting up just after 8 o'clock. In fact, I can show you the very first county that came in is a very big one in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex here. This came in at like 8 o'clock and 5 seconds. And look at this. Paxton was absolutely crushing Cornyn. This is a play.
Look at that, guys. That's damn near a 30-point behind whipping. This is John Cornyn is the city. He is the sitting incumbent. Look at that, guys. That's crazy town. Let's get to it, though.
The Cornyn had actually won, outpaced Paxton in the preliminary, total reversal. And throughout the last hour, we've just seen this in county after county. There's 254 of them here in Texas. And there's really basically no good news on this map anywhere for Cornyn. Just a total shift. Folks will be debating here, in the final week of this campaign. Obviously, Donald Trump got behind Ken Paxton here. Did his endorsement cause Paxton to win by such a landslide margin here? Was Paxton already heading towards that? Was Trump trying to sort of get ahead of that? Was it a combination of the two? Folks can have those discussions coming out of this, but what's clear is this was a very close race between these two in the preliminary, and it is very much not that tonight. Ken Paxton is going to win this in an absolute landslide, and John Cornyn is going to become now the second elected incumbent senator in 10 days to lose a Republican primary. Louisiana's Bill Cassidy did 10 days ago. Before that, Gotti, it had been 14 years.
Wow. Did you guys see that, guys? That's two senators going down, incumbent senators going down. Two. That's... Now, let's bring in some commentary, guys. Bring in some commentary real fast, guys, on this, so we can see what actually happened. All right, let's bring some commentary in. Let's go ahead and leave. Let's see. Let's go ahead. Let's leave here. Let's go over to CNN. CNN has something to say about this as well, also, guys, concerning why this happened. All right, so let's go to CNN real quickly. See what they got to say about this, and kind of let's see what they got to say. Here we go.
This was unthinkable even just maybe 2 weeks ago for some Republicans.
Yeah, Paxton was running a little bit ahead here, but a little bit ahead. And then when Donald Trump showed up, it changed everything. Now, if you go back to the primary results, Cornyn actually narrowly won more votes in the primary, but there was a third person in the race, a guy named Wesley Hunt. And obviously, those Wesley Hunt voters didn't want to vote for Cornyn, and most of those obviously have gone to Paxton. But look, the bottom line is this. If Donald Trump wants you to be the nominee of the Republican Party for virtually any office, he can will it into existence. And that has happened again tonight in Texas. There's also an attorney general campaign going on underneath this. I don't think we've called it yet, but there's a strong undercurrent of who's for Trump and who isn't in that race. And it looks like the more Trump-aligned candidate is going to win down there as well. So, we're learning this lesson over and over again. Indiana, Louisiana, Kentucky, where I live, and now Texas, over and over again, we're learning. If Donald Trump wants you to have the party's nomination, the voters look at that and say, we trust the president's judgment and we'll give it to you.
But Paul, I mean, I should note when we're hearing this tonight about the concerns of what this general election matchup is going to look like, it's not coming from Democrats or just critics of the president. It's coming from Republicans in his own party who are up on Capitol Hill that are worried about it.
Right, because they can count. Trump makes you unbeatable in the primary, but it could make you unelectable in the general. We're talking about Texas Senate seat up. King referred to this, and he's generally wrong about everything. He's a horrible person, but he's right about this. My party, Democrats, haven't won anything in Texas in 32 years. They haven't won a Senate seat in 38 years. They haven't won a governorship in 36 years. They haven't carried a presidential candidate in Texas for 50 years. And we're sitting here saying that Texas is up for grabs, in part because the Democrats nominated a very strong candidate, James Tallarico, who in the polling right now is 11 points above water. His popularity is very high. Mr. Trump, beloved by Republicans in Texas, the bloom is off the rose on that. He's underwater, even in my beloved Texas. Underwater, more unpopular than he is popular in the polling. So this is the problem that Republicans are going to have now in a state that all they had to do was fog a mirror and they won Texas. And now they're going to have to fight like hell and spend hundreds of millions of dollars.
Well, I mean, Kim Paxton is someone who has been MAGA aligned. He is someone who, way before Trump, was suing the Obama administration many times. He actually, I mean, yes, he's been indicted and then had the charges dropped. He was impeached and acquitted. He's never lost an election that he's run, I don't believe, during his political career.
But he's also not an establishment type of candidate. What's interesting here is that John Cornyn knows how to fundraise. He knows how to do the things that an establishment Texan would do. Ken Paxton was not able to raise in this race, and he does not have a lot of money right now. I have to admit that tonight, while Tallarico is not on the ballot, my guess is Tallarico will likely raise more money tonight than Ken Paxton will in a red state. And it is interesting because the Republican resources will need to come in heavily in a state like Texas, and those are resources that they're not going to be spending anywhere else. Tallarico is well funded. Tallarico will continue to raise money, but it's interesting to me that now Republicans have to worry about deep red Texas because they have a flawed candidate who does not know how to raise. And you're now seeing that currently play out.
All these analysis of this race is sort of the differences between what a Cornyn or a Paxton would look like here. I'm thinking about the differences between Tallarico and literally every other Texan. Don't know any Texans who believe in 6 genders other than Tallarico. Don't know any Texans who said it's immoral to eat meat other than Tallarico. Don't know any Texans who walk around saying things, God is non-binary. You all are both Texans. Do you know any other Texan who even talks like that? Issues aside, who says these things out loud? When this gets adjudicated, all that money coming in from California and New York, it'll be well spent in Texas.
You know what I'm smelling, Scott? Fear. Panic.
Fear?
Raw, stinking panic. You guys
Fear
are
of a
on this.
cisgender
You
guy?
are on this. He's more popular than Trump in Texas,
Can
brother.
you explain his position?
He cited a biological study. It's not his position. He cited a study.
So you're for it.
So
you believe in
You know what
cisgenders.
I'm not for? I'm not for $6.89 hamburger. Okay, James actually eats beef. Okay, but he can afford to. Most
But it's
Texans
immoral.
can't anymore. Now Ken Paxton can because on a government salary, he's become a millionaire. How does that happen? He can afford hamburger. This is what it's going to be about. You want it to be about woke. I want it to be about broke.
No, I want it to
Let's
be
see.
about
Let's see
judgment.
what.
I want it to be
let's
about,
switch.
are you a normal
You just
person?
smell the fear.
Are you a normal
So
person?
it's just
6 genders and no meat.
What I will
Texas
say
terror.
is
terror. They're so afraid.
Scott is melting down, but that is like the Republican Party right now.
You guys endorsing
have
the genders is amazing.
I'm not endorsing that, and neither
Oh.
is Tallarico, to be honest.
Whoa.
Let her make her
Hold on,
point, Scott. Let her make her point,
Let
Scott.
me make my point. He is an 8th generation white Texas male who loves meat and talks about the cost of living in the state, is appealing to a moderate electorate, including Republicans who don't want to vote for Paxton, and Republicans are running completely scared right now. And I think that is
just
what
for the record,
what I will say,
neither of
hold
you
on,
can define
but
a
I want-
gender thing.
when we're talking about morality and values and stuff like that, you have Paxton here who was married for almost 40 years, and his wife, who knows him the best, ended their marriage on biblical grounds. What does that mean? I'm a Catholic. I will say that either means you cheated on your spouse with a man or a woman, or you went ahead and abused your spouse. I will say that is, when you're talking about judgment, a woman who has known that man for 40 years, that is judgment.
Well, Scott, can I also ask you, where does the Republican Party in Texas go from here? Because John Cornyn, in his interview that he did with Monty Raju earlier today, made pretty clear that he's not going to be coming out and endorsing Kim Paxton in this race. I mean,
well, he said he's going to support the ticket.
There is a question, well, voting for the ticket and endorsing it's another thing, but there is a question of how much money MAGA is going to have to spend in this race, is there not?
Yeah, I don't disagree. It's going to be an expensive race. I think money will be spent by both sides. And Tallarico being popular among donors in California and New York and Massachusetts is never going to wash off the weirdness of the gender thing, of the meat thing, of the God is non-binary, of the Bible actually, endorses abortion. All of these things, wherever you are on the issues, who talks like that? No Texan that you know actually speaks these things out loud, other than Paul. I guess tonight he's latching on, but no other Texan speaks this way. Paxton, he'll speak like a normal person. He'll have positions that
are center right. But if he's talking about affordability, to Paul's point,
he'll have center right.
If he's talking about affordability, to Paul's point, is that something that could be more effective with voters
will talk
that are
about
worried
affordability
about that?
when he talks about cutting taxes, rolling back regulations, and creating jobs and making energy prices low. That's what he'll talk about.
Millionaire. He makes $153,000 a year as Attorney General. When he became a state official, his net worth, according to his own disclosures, was $175,000. Okay, now he's a multimillionaire. Wall Street Journal says he has 11 homes. That's more than Genders. He's got 11 damn homes. How did he get so rich?
To Paul's point,
Crooked Ken is what Senator Cornyn calls him.
To the question of the Republican Party in Texas tonight, the NRSC, the Senate committee, just put out a statement tonight that does not name Paxton or John Cornyn in this. It was before the race had been projected, but it just says a state that the president won by nearly 14 points is not going to elect James Tallarico, talking about his positions. But, I mean, they didn't mention either of the Republican candidates in this race.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's right. The establishment Republican Party, NRSC, has not backed Paxton, and it'll be interesting to see whether they are comfortable running ads. What they're
So there's a lot of selling going on in that one. A lot of selling. That was mostly liberal there. I did that for a reason, because I wanted you to get to hear the liberal side. It sounds like what they're going to do when it comes to Kim Paxton is they're going to try to play the moral thing. They're going to, of course, exploit his divorce of Angela. His soon-to-be ex-wife. They're going to talk about how wealthy he's got for being a government official. It's kind of laughable there, because if that's the case, all of their candidates and incumbents should resign, and I've said on both sides. Number three, they're going to call him Crooked Ken. So it's going to be more of character assassination. Now, they may talk about affordability in some form or fashion, and that may resonate, but I don't know. But the strange thing about it is the Democrat Party was saying the same thing when Beto O'Rourke ran against Ted Cruz. And Ted Cruz dog-walked Beto O'Rourke. And Beto was more charismatic, more likable, right? And a better orator than the James Tallarico. But we'll see. Now, let's bring in somebody real quickly here, right, that has some experience in this type of race. Let's bring in who I think is probably, from a legal perspective, is probably one of the most smartest, I say, senators in the Senate. I believe that him and Mike Lee, Ted Cruz and Mike Lee, are the two of the smartest legally senators in the Senate. Put it like this: I believe Ted Cruz has argued 8 cases in front of the Supreme Court. He's 8-0, undefeated. So this is not me saying that I love Ted Cruz. No, I'm just saying from a legal perspective, he's pretty smart. So is Mike Lee. I believe that their intellect when it comes to the law, they're candidates for the Supreme Court, in my opinion, right? When it comes to their knowledge of the law. Okay, let's get to it. Here we go.
Election night in general for conservatives all over the country. Well, we had election night in Texas, and it was a big election. It was a consequential election. We had the runoff for the U.S. Senate race, and we now know with absolute certainty that come January, I'm going to be serving with a new senator from the state of Texas. We had the Republican runoff between my current colleague, John Cornyn, and his challenger, Texas Attorney General Kim Paxton. And Paxton won decisively, a big double-digit victory. We're going to break down what happened in election night and what it means for Texas. We're also going to break down what's next in the general election. Who is the Democrat nominee, this James Tallarico guy? And I'll warn you, it ain't pretty. We're going to get into that in detail right now.
So, Senator, this is one of those that is a very interesting case study in traditionally, if you are an establishment, if you are an incumbent, you have a massive advantage. You have a lot of fundraising that comes in. You got a lot of Washington money that comes in. You have special interest money. Like, you got a lot of advantages and usually a bigger microphone. What we have learned so far through this whole process around the country is just because you have that, if Donald Trump decides that he wants to go against you and wants to back another America First candidate he believes will serve the interests of his agenda better, you could be in serious trouble. We watched it happen in Louisiana. We've now seen it happen in Texas.
Well, I think that's right. There was an awful lot going on in this race. Let's start off just with the results. So we're sitting here. It's right now 11:43 p.m. Tuesday night, election night. And as of right now, this is with 92% of the results in. Ken Paxton is getting 64% of the vote. John Cornyn is getting 36%. So that is, as of right now, 858,547 votes for Ken Paxton. Oh, just bumped up. 862,150 votes for Ken Paxton to 484,625 for John Cornyn. So that is nearly a 30-point victory, a 28-point victory. We'll see what the final numbers are when all the votes are tallied. But that is a massive win. That's a bloodbath for any incumbent. I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat, and that's how the media is treating it as well. Well, and it represents a sea change. So John Cornyn has been in the Senate for 24 years. He has been an institution in the Senate. He was the majority whip of the Senate, so he was the number 2 elected Republican in the Senate. He served that position for 6 years. John Cornyn ran for majority leader. When we took the majority, when Mitch McConnell stepped down as majority leader, John Cornyn ran against John Thune, and it was a close election. John Cornyn obviously did not prevail, but it was a vote that was decided by just a couple of votes. And so John Cornyn in a different universe would have been the majority leader of the United States Senate right now. And instead, he has faced an election where he lost by 28 points. Now, there were a number of factors at play there, and I will say Donald Trump endorsed late, and there's no doubt it had a very significant impact. That being said, most of the polling that was in this race, even before the Trump endorsement, showed that Paxton was going to win and was likely to win with a sizable victory. And so I think the Trump endorsement certainly grew that margin of victory and made it the dramatic, the nearly 30-point victory that it was. But I think one of the factors that caused President Trump to endorse is he was looking at the same polling everyone else was looking at that showed Paxton with a significant lead in the race to begin with. There are a lot of reasons for this, but in many ways this race played out as a traditional conservative versus establishment primary. And that's a primary I know a lot about. My race 14 years ago when I was elected to the Senate was very much the same dynamic where I was running against David Dewhurst. He was the sitting lieutenant governor. He had universal name ID. He had over $200 million, so he wrote a $35 million check to his own campaign. And I'd never been elected to nothing. Like literally the last thing I was elected to was student council. So I was at 2% in the polls.
I was ahead of you technically because I did win, I think, class president freshman year in college. So I even had more credentials than you did at that moment. I just want to make sure that the audience understands that right now.
It was an impossible race, and yet what we saw when I was elected in 2012 is we saw the conservative grassroots come together, and we ended up going from 2% in the polls to winning by double digits in the primary and winning by double digits. We won the primary by 14 points and we won the general by 16 points. And so it was an amazing victory of the conservative grassroots against the person everyone thought was the unbeatable frontrunner. This Cornyn-Paxton race had similar dynamics. The money in this race was massive. So this has now shattered records for the single most expensive Senate race in American history in a primary.
In a
this
primary.
Race,
and we're talking more than usually just spent in a general election by a lot.
So just in phase one of the primary, over $100 million was spent. I think when you tally the runoff, it will end up being well north of $150 million spent in this primary. And the overwhelming, the 90+% of that was spent supporting John Cornyn. So Paxton spent relatively little money and won by an overwhelming margin. Now, one of the consequences of this is the Democrats, they are looking to attack Ken Paxton. He is a conservative. Both Ken and John are friends. I've served with John Cornyn 14 years. He and I are very different senators, but we've worked well together, and we've worked in a cooperative and collegial way. That's part of how you represent your state.
Sure.
And at the same time, Ken Paxton has been a friend of mine for a long time. Both Paxton and Cornyn I've supported previously. I've campaigned with them previously. I've campaigned for them previously. Paxton, objectively, I believe, has been the most conservative state attorney general in the country. He has a strong record as a conservative state AG, and that was a big part of why he prevailed. And that was driving his momentum long before President Trump made his endorsement. That being said, there are a lot of nasty personal attacks that have been leveled at Ken Paxton, and the odds are precisely 100.0% that we will see millions and millions of dollars of attack ads in the general election, bringing up every one of those personal attacks and going after him viciously. The Democrats are not going to play nice because they see a chance. The Democrats believe they have a chance to win the general. And I got a message to Republicans in Texas and nationwide. Do not take this general election for granted.
Amen to that.
It is easy to say it's Texas, it's red, we're going to win, and I believe we are going to win. But I also think the Democrat nominee, James Tallarico, is a dangerous candidate. Now,
and by the way, before we get to James, I want to just go.
So I believe that what Ted Cruz is saying is actually correct. He's spot on. The Democrats do see this as a potential win for them because they're going to run off the morality type of scenario. That's what they're going to do. Okay, that's what they're going to do. They are, and it's going to be up for Ken Paxton to outlay that. As far as raising money, as Ted talked about earlier, when he ran against Beto O'Rourke actually raised 3x more than he did. So money is most likely not the answer, will not lead to a win. You're going to have to perform, and we're going to see. So this is going to be a very interesting type of scenario, and I believe Ted is right. Republicans, if y'all don't come out, James Tallarico is going to be the next U.S. senator in Texas if you don't come out. Don't get pompous. Be paranoid. Because I guarantee your opponent is paranoid right now. In a good way. In a good way. They're going to be fired up. Do I think that Ken will probably win? I think he'll probably end up winning this. Will it be close? I don't know. I don't know enough about James Tallarico as far as his tenure. I know he's a state senator in Texas right now. I've heard some of his views. They don't shake hands with me, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to listen to the debates and see what's going on. That's what's going on now. Real fast, guys. Let's go back real quickly to this topic. Let me get rid of this real quick. Get out the way. Let's go back to this topic real fast, guys. Remember, we were talking about this NBA scenario real fast. I've got to do this real fast. Guys, let's go back to this real quickly here. I actually looked at companies right now that actually have their own universities already. All right, already. Let's dive into this. I want you guys to see this. I'm gonna get rid of this overlay in a second. I want y'all to see this real quickly. Here we go, and boom. Let me make this a little bigger for the folk in the back row. Here we go. Let's go. Here we get rid of this real fast. Once you guys see this, I'm gonna put it over here, make it bigger over here. Look at this, guys. Look at this. This right here, I'll make it bigger. This is companies that already have their universities, right? Top companies with internal universities already. Look at the numbers, guys. Look at this. McDonald's Corporation. I worked for McDonald's in college. I did, right? It says, now watch this. It says many Fortune 500 and Fortune 1000 companies have developed internal university type models to build talent, strengthen culture, and drive performance across their organizations. Here are the top companies with established corporate universities. Okay? Here we go. Number one, McDonald's Corporation. I worked for them in high school. Right? Corporate university is called Hamburger University. That is real. When I'd actually worked there in college, in high school, they actually asked me to become a manager and to send me to Hamburger University. It is real, and it is a bona fide system. It is a science, right? It says founded in 1961, right? 2025 revenue for McDonald's, $26.9 billion. Purpose, leadership development, restaurant operations, training, management development, and maintaining operational consistency across the franchise system. That's a university. Number two, GE Aerospace. Y'all know GE. Corporate university is called Crotonville Leadership Institute. Okay? Founded in 1956. All right? It says 2015 revenue, $45.9 billion. They're not broke, right? 2026 projected revenue, $50 billion this year, right? Purpose for the university, internal university, purpose for it. Here we go. Executive leadership development, management training, organizational culture, strategic leadership education. That sounds like a university right there. Number three, the Walt Disney Company. Corporate university, Disney University. Founded, it says 2025 revenue, $95 to $100 billion. Okay? What's the purpose of the university? Simple. Employee onboarding, customer service excellence, brand culture training, leadership development, and guest experience management. Okay? Then you have Ford Motor Company. Corporate university, Ford Star University. Ford Star. 2025 revenue, $180 to $190 billion. Purpose of the university, dealer training, employee development, operational excellence, leadership development, and technical training. And then lastly, Hewlett Packard Enterprises. Corporate university, HP University. 2025 revenue, $30 to $32 billion. Purpose of the university, technology certification, leadership development, and training and workforce upscaling. Again, guys, these are universities already in play. So when you hear language saying that universities are, companies are going to have their own universities, this is real. Because why? They already have them. It's already there. Crazy town. Crazy town. Guys, they're not playing. They ain't playing at all. This is real. I'm just saying, guys. This is real. I'm just saying. So again, guys, this was a good one. I enjoy putting this together, guys. And to be honest with you guys, I used a lot of ChatGPT to get this accomplished. I really did. I utilized AI. I love using AI. But again, guys, all I'm saying is this is coming from a father that is sending a daughter to school in the fall at a university. Begin asking these politicians questions concerning, if you're so consumed and concerned about affordability, what the hell are you going to do to address the rising astronomical cost of college tuition and university tuition? If the answer is nothing, do not give them their vote. This should be a bipartisan, unified issue because it affects everybody. Just saying, guys. Guys, man, that's all I have for today, man. This was fun for me to do today, guys. Real fast, guys. Also, real quickly, we are giving away a free ebook, guys. It's called Distressed Property Investing. I think in the next 3 to 5 years, this is going to be the greatest time to buy real estate. The greatest time. Because this time right now is ripe to find distressed property deals and also distressed home seller deals. Okay, there's 2 types of distressed situations. A property that's distressed and a seller that's distressed. There are characteristics and variables that you have to know to locate these type of situations. This ebook talks about all of that, guys. It's real simple. If you want this ebook, guys, it's real simple. DM me the word real estate, right? Or you can scan on the QR code here on the screen. Or last, what you can do, guys, you can click on the link below in the in the show notes, guys, to get access to it. Number 2, guys, if you say, Dale, I hear you, but real estate is just not my thing. Yo, I'm rocking with you. We're on the same page, guys. I want you guys to remember these 3 words. Well, we're 2 words. FinTech banking. Let me say it again. FinTech banking. FinTech stands for financial technology banking. What is a FinTech bank? SoFi is a FinTech bank. Chime is a FinTech bank. Venmo, Zelle. Does it make some sense, guys? Right now, with the government digitizing the dollar, which has been going on for a while now, guys, and then moving more toward blockchain and cryptocurrency, guys, FinTech banking is becoming a more attractive model to where people like you and I can actually build a business with, guys. Let me give you an example. What if you can actually get paid off of someone's money being in their bank account, just sitting there, and you get paid a fee for that? What about if each time someone actually swipes their debit card, you get paid a percentage for each swipe? Let me give you an example. The average consumer swipes their card 60 times a month. What if you were actually getting paid 0.25% of the dollar amount per swipe? Do the math. This is one area. What if you also can actually get paid off of rental insurance, homeowner insurance, a mortgage loan, investor loan, savings accounts, all through FinTech banking? That's what, if you want to know a little bit more about what FinTech banking is about, don't worry about it at all, guys. This is not new. This has been around for a while, guys. DM me the word mentor, right? click on the link below in the show notes, or you can scan on the QR code. That's about it. All right, guys? And it's free. It's free information, guys. See if the model fits what you're looking to do, right? But more than ever, with inflation on the rise, it ain't going nowhere, guys. You need a side hustle. Here's one for you guys. And lastly, if you ever want to talk to me, guys, about anything at all, guys, I am on Monect, right? Monect is a website to where you can contact me anytime you want to talk to me, guys. Anytime you want to talk to me, just Monect me, guys. It's real simple. I like how that looks. Let's go back to the classic. Yeah, it's fine. What you can do, guys? You can DM me, guys. You can DM me, guys. You can with this app, you can video ask me questions via video, text message me, you name it. Schedule time to talk with me right here on my neck, guys. It's real simple to do as well. All right, guys. Let's see. But guys, that's all I have for today, guys. Man, this has been a very fun time, which is pretty cool. Do me a favor, guys. Like and subscribe, guys. This really helps us out. So if you can like and share and subscribe, guys, it helps us out. If we're giving out value to you, you're learning a little something, subscribe to our channel. Share it if you don't mind, and like us. This helps us out if you don't mind, guys. We'll keep giving you that heat, guys. But you know, I end everything sometime, guys. Before you leave, baby, and while you can, you see that thing, baby. Take the picture for your mom and them, guys. How to party, guys. What is it, guys? Oh, my bad, guys. Tomorrow, Real Estate Friday Live, which is called the Investor's Edge, guys. It's gonna be me and Cliff, guys. Here is a sample of what we talk about all in real estate. Here we go. Let's get into it. Sir, there's a GC right there. Cliff.
Go. It's piers. We got concrete piers and wood piers.
Yes, sir.
Checklist. Check out the checklist. We got it for everything we need.
Yes, sir.
Right, you forget some things sometimes. So this is going to outline. Make sure you hit every single thing. What's the foundation? Plumbing, electric, painting, flooring, everything. So you don't miss anything.
Okay.
You want to make sure you get all your checks.
Okay. I want to introduce you guys to Cliff Hunter. Cliff is a world-renowned flipper. He actually flips. He's also a GC as well. He's a good contractor. When it comes to all of our renovations, all over the nation, you'll talk to this guy right here. It's tomorrow at 5 p.m. CST. We have Real Estate Friday Live. We call it the Investor's Edge, guys. It's going to be me and Cliff talk about all things real estate and cryptocurrency. And we're going to talk about something that's happening in New York City, about them trying to take properties away from owners. What? Yes, sir. And also how Trump is using cryptocurrency to reset the debt. Oh my, this is going to be a very good podcast. And lastly, guys, we are launching the Kind of Move podcast interview series, guys. Here's a little bit of sneak peek. Here we go. One of the many questions that I receive is, LaDale, how do I get into those rooms? Well, this interview series is just for you. So welcome to the room.
We on now. They respect us cause we on now. Money up, run the whole town, don't we? This power money can't slow down. Money won't slow down. Ooh, we doing a lot. How we got on top. How we got on the top. Network and hustle.
It's the Kind of Move podcast interview series, guys. It's coming out, guys, in the next month and a half. It would have been a little bit sooner, guys, but hey, I'm a daddy first, I'm a husband first, and daddy second, then a businessman third. I take care of family. Guys, man, thank you so much for your time. God bless you guys. See you guys tomorrow for the Investor's Edge for Real Estate Friday Live, guys. You know I end it every time. Before you leave, baby, while you can, you see that thing, baby. Take that damn picture for your mom and them guys and holler at your partner. God bless you guys. See you guys tomorrow. All right, guys. Holler at you guys. All right. Peace. What's good, guys? It's your partner Dale here, man. Hey, I always say that when it comes to real estate, I think this is the best time. The next 3 to 5 years is the best time, in my opinion, to begin to invest in real estate. Whether you are a seasoned investor or a novice investor, this is the best time, in my opinion, to invest in real estate. Now, why would I say that? It's very simple. Whenever there is some stagnation within the real estate industry, that's the best time to get deals, right? Deals are what attract the capital, right? A good deal will always attract good capital. Now, what's a good deal? Well, I like buying distressed properties below wholesale. The skill to buying right is learning how to locate distressed properties in your city, county, or state. Now, the good thing about it is we are giving away a free ebook called Distressed Property Investing. We talk about different ways of locating distressed properties in your city, county, state, what to look for, who to call, things of that nature. It is free. Once you master this type of skill of locating distressed properties, you'll never be broke ever again, because good deals attract the right capital. All right, guys? So to get the free ebook, click on the link below, scan on the QR code here on the screen, or you can DM us the word real estate and my team will get you out this free ebook. Again, it's completely free. Just want to get you this information so you can begin to get the bag while buying real estate. Stay blessed and holla at your partner.
Okay, so you did fixes and flips first, or were they? Now it sounds like you're more buying whole. Okay, so you're wholesaling first. Okay,
because I was broke. I had no credit, I had no money, so I had to get some money coming in. So I learned how to do wholesale.
And you were doing wholesaling at the good time too.
2000.
When it wasn't so saturated. There was.
I kind of saw the debacle coming. Okay, it didn't make any sense. I was like, wait a minute, how can you lend out to retail buyers 99.7%?
Yeah,
just a little bit of a down tick. It's insolvent.
And you got to remember, in some states, because I lived in Florida at the time, you could have loan to value above 100% of your property.
Right.
The first property that I bought, it was 110%. We left the bank with like $30,000.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was amazing to me. I was like, why am I not doing this all the time? But then clearly 08, 09 let me know why people shouldn't have been doing that all the time.
08, 09, that's why I made that lion's share of my money.
Wow, okay.
Actually running from the cows, I was running to it.
Of course.
Because I saw it was coming.
Okay.
A lot of my business colleagues back then were buying flippers.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was wise for me to share 50% of my profit with Uncle Sam. He didn't do no work.
Okay.
So why would I give him free money?
Of course.
Okay, how can I make sure I'm still legal, but keep the lion's share of the cash flow?
Of course.
So I began studying the tax code with my accountants and CPAs, and I said, okay, I'm going to buy a whole lot of properties. Now watch this. I actually buy a lot of properties. I take home money when I actually acquire it. Every single time.
Okay, you need to break that down just a little bit.
If you'd like to learn how successful real estate investors make money when they acquire real estate and not when they sell it, click on the link below, swipe up, DM me the word real estate to download our free ebook, Distressed Property Investing. The blueprint is in the ebook. Stay blessed. I'll let your partner and download the ebook today. What if you could help families lower their bills and get paid for it? Healthcare premiums, insurance rates, and loan interest just keep climbing higher. And most people just keep paying without knowing that there's a better way. We use a FinTech platform that connects people to lower healthcare costs, competitive auto and home insurance, better loan products, higher yield bank deposits, and even ways to cut energy costs, all in one place. It's the same technology that banks and big corporations use currently. But now entrepreneurs like us can leverage this technology to build an income stream and help others save. Take our 30-second assessment to see if this business model is a fit for you. Click on the link, watch the short video after, and let's explore what's possible.